Portugal.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, a live stream and podcast. And you know what? Let's give her a nice big round of applause. Joining me from the get-go this morning, Astrid. Good morning to you, Astrid. How are you?
Good morning, Carl. Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Great to see you. We didn't see you, well, last Thursday, I invited you to join us on the webinar or the Dream Team session, but you were too busy working. You were working at networking, I think, at the what's it called? Martinal Orient.
Yeah, so it was the celebration for the Martinal Orient for 1 year.
Yes.
And the Lisbon International School, the United International School in Lisbon, 4 years. So they put on a big cocktail soiree, and Gilda and I were there enjoying ourselves, networking and meeting people. So,
You were papped by Carl Hyde. Lovely picture of you. And he sent a video of having a canapé made. Now, lots of posh dudes, somebody comes up to you with a tray, don't they, and offers you a canapé, and you look at it and you think, wow, that's quite extraordinary. Incredible sort of creations on a tray. They were being made bespoke, weren't they, in front of your very eyes by chefs at Martinal.
So there were 4 stations for food making. There was a Delhi station or Indian station. There was a Middle Eastern station. Really? There was a sushi station, and there was a Japanese station, and a Thai station. So you could go up and help yourself, and they were making all the delicacies from those areas. So it was very, very full on. It was beautiful. Fantastic.
And what is the place like? Because it's at the sort of 5-star end, isn't it? Of if you're coming to Portugal and you want to have all your needs met, somewhere to live, somewhere to park, somewhere to central. That's your place.
Yeah, it's a combination of residential living as well as a hotel. So we did meet a few of the residents who have purchased properties there. So when they come to Portugal, they get to stay in this hotel environment. But they also rent rooms out. So I was privileged enough to see a couple of the rooms last time I was visiting Rosa there, and it's very, very fancy. That's for sure.
Great location as well, isn't it? You've got everything you need when you're in Orient.
If you want that modern vibe of Lisbon, then definitely around that area. But it's not a very traditional area. It's very new and modern, as you know. So so Lisbon does have that modern vibe too in certain locations.
True, isn't it?
Old.
No, that's right. And that area represents the post-Expo turning point, I suppose, doesn't it? It is a real sort of historical punctuation mark where the fortunes of Lisbon and Portugal changed, I think, post-Expo. Very interesting.
Yeah, yes. So it's good. Good night.
Well, I'm glad you had a great time, and congratulations to Martinal, to Chitra and Roman Stern, the powerhouses behind it. And you got to meet
people.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? And you got to meet some of the royalty staying there. What have we got tomorrow evening for our webinar tomorrow night?
Tomorrow evening, being the first Thursday of the month, we've got Philomena with her language and culture show. So we're going to be talking about public transport. So the lingo you need to know for public transport, etiquette, what's required, how to do it, all of that kind of stuff. So if you're new to Portugal or you're about to move here and want to sharpen up your skills of exploring the public transport system, it's the one to join us with.
Very good. And always great fun hanging out with Philomena. So that's tomorrow night, a special language and culture special featuring using public transport there. All the vocab you need. And a few insights as well. Some unique Philomena touches, I'm sure, as well. And then, of course, the Dream Team session thereafter.
Yes, back to normal with the Dream Team session, and I'm sure Gilda will be there. Now, we do understand it is the 4th of July, so we may be a little bit quieter than normal. But if you're looking for something to do, then feel free to come along.
Yes.
But,
you make a very good point, because there's a British election, isn't there, and the 4th of July celebrations in the US as well. So people might be distracted.
But it's also a good one, especially with the Dream Team. If you've got that burning question that you want to have some time to ask one of our experts, it might be a little bit quieter. So come along and you'll probably get your question answered.
Very good. I shall see you there, Astrid.
Thank you. Okay, and I did just sorry, Carl, I just wanted to mention that we do have a Porto meetup on the 18th of July as well. That's about to go up on the events calendar, and on the 27th of July we have the Tamar meetup. So come along to that and meet the team.
In the usual Expats Portugal style, which means lunch, well, drinks and lunch, hanging out, and then dinner again in the evening, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, we'd like to do that again. So yes.
It sounds great. All right, see you tomorrow evening.
Okay, thanks,
Cheers,
Carl.
thanks for popping in. Bye for now. Chop. There she goes. And we'll keep the applause going, because the weather. I forgot to ask Astrid about the Cascais weather this morning. Let's go for a weather report in the north of Portugal. And Owen Lloyd Martin.
Morning, Carl.
Is that your new name? Are you like Prince, and you've changed your name to 2.730 FPS as a sort of?
I can do that.
Mystical title for
Why not?
in your career. I think you might be using a different camera and on a special location this morning. Is that right?
I'm actually using green screen.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
But it's a photograph that I've took, which is just local.
But you've got incredible daylighting as well going on there. Is that studio lighting?
No, it's sunlight.
Oh, okay, with a bit of green screen at the back. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in Pontelima then, by the look of it.
It certainly is. Clear skies, I can see the hills, beautiful. 31 degrees we're expecting tomorrow.
Really?
So forget about the election, forget about the USA American Independence Day. It's my birthday. So, that's the only thing that matters to me tomorrow.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Independence Day and Election Day. And, of course, more importantly, Owen's birthday tomorrow. Fantastic. Is it a significant one?
I turn 57 tomorrow, Carl.
57 tomorrow. Amazing. Well, have a great day tomorrow. Although we're not meant to do that in Portugal, are we? We're not meant to wish you in advance.
No.
I've done that in an English way, not in a Portuguese way.
Yes.
Right? And this is a somewhat poignant episode for us, isn't it? You're not exactly hanging up your chef's whites, as it were.
No.
And it's not a retirement do necessarily, but a bit of a change for you and a chance for us to thank you for all your incredible service as the food alchemist to the Good Morning Portugal show. You're going to be heading off in a new direction, but I'm sure watching and chipping in from time to time on the show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for a lot of times, I've always been video making. Yeah. Whether it be on social media or anything like that. And somebody actually messaged me the other day and said, what does it take to become a content creator? And I never ever thought of myself as being a content creator. Right. But then when I think about the stuff I do, that maybe I should, explore that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think one of the first things I'll be working on is the celebrations leading up to the 900th birthday of Pontelima. Thank you, Ian. I'm really sure.
Yes. All right. Very interesting. So that's your new direction then. Is going more into sort of content productions.
Yes, absolutely. And I have other irons in the fire. Let's say you've received one or two copies of the music I've been recording.
Yes.
That's it. That last one I sent you, by the way, the copyright is up. After 21 years, the song's actually available. So that's one of the other things I'm looking into. Seriously, I'm looking into it. The last 21 years does the copyright. So I'm actually looking into that to see whether if I can release it.
I didn't know that. Okay, so that's the Sade cover.
That's it. Yeah.
I thought it was much longer than that. So that's incredible.
21 years.
Right. I think I co-wrote a single. Are you telling me that I'm not going to get any more royalties?
But I suppose it depends on the record company, doesn't it?
And the label,
or the actual writer. Maybe with that particular Sade song that you know that you've heard, that maybe it was written by somebody else way before Sade had that.
Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, well, good luck to you in that plot twist, that life plot twist, which I think Milène sums up beautifully. Let's travel this journey called life. That's what you and I have been doing since we've met each other here in Portugal, right? And
yeah, definitely.
I think being here has added another dimension to the unfolding of our lives, generally speaking. I think we share similar sorts of aspirations and life views. So I wish you all the best with that. But we're going to dwell a little bit longer on what you've done for us here, Owen, for which I'm very grateful. And the months go by, don't they? And actually the years go by. And I think we've been involved, or you've been involved with the Good Morning Portugal show for what, 3 or 4 years now, I think.
Yeah, it's about 4 years, Carl. Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? So we've got some highlights to really giggle at, I think, haven't we?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and Carl, there were so many. There were so many. I just couldn't choose. But the ones I have are the ones that came straight to mind. Thank you, Tina.
There you go. So happy birthday greetings from T Duck and from Ian. It's bon dia from Katia as well. Good morning to you, Katia. Happy Freedom Day, UK. Oh, wait, is that what you're referring to as the election day or Owen's birthday?
I think he means the elections there.
Okay. Roshni Kumari has shared their phone number. That's not a very sensible thing to do. Depending on what your purpose is here, Roshni, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we've.
Hello. Hello.
I'm. Owen, I'm tempted to call, but that's not the. Again,
it's one of those ones, isn't it? Should we do it live online to embarrass them?
I'm not sure we should go there this morning. Bon dia from a foggy Miranda de Corva from Michael Barton. Look at this. Love being called Carlito from the old guy in Europe. James, good morning to you. And thank you, Milène, for being here with your early greetings and your weather report. Beautiful day in Lisbon as well. The weather's definitely changed now. It's too flipping hot yesterday. I had to go for a swim in the sea. Honestly, I was wanting the rain to come back yesterday.
Don't say that. You can't say that. I've been longing for the weather to be like this. And the hottest day of the week falls tomorrow. What could be any better than that? And I must quickly say a big thank you to Louise and Mrs. M.
All right.
Is that her astrological readings for Cancer for both you and I are amazing, and they're so on point. With me, it just resonates 100%. And just with how I'm thinking, how I'd like my future to go, I kind of had the reassurance from listening to. I once again, I recommend anybody to listening to Louise's astrology shows, because for me, they've been amazing. They've been on point every time.
Yeah, even if you're just looking for that reassurance that Owen's talking about there. Fantastic. Okay, I shall pass it on to Mrs. M. Okay, so let's go back in the record stack, or the equivalent thereof when it comes to live streaming. And yes, it's about looking in a family album, isn't it? And you're seeing people wearing flares and having funny facial hair, like this picture. Now, hopefully this will roll. The VT will roll in the background and we can giggle along and see some of the names as well from back in the day who don't, I was going to say, are no longer with us, which sounds really ominous. They're not part of the community anymore. But let's give this, push this button to the amazing Austin Brothers Studios in Alviagra. 3, 2, 1. We're on screen, fellas. How you doing?
How you doing? Good evening. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Did somebody just say good evening then? No, must have been me. Okay, all right. So we're in a rock and roll. What does it say on your T-shirt there, please, Garvo? Save water, drink beer, I see. Okay. Can you hear me all right, Garvo?
Massive delay here.
We have got a massive delay, haven't we?
What's it say on the T-shirt?
All right, he wants to know what's on your T-shirt.
Oh, it's a massive delay here. News just coming through. There's a man has landed on the...
We've got a massive delay on the sound, so give us a bit of space.
Second World War is over.
Brilliant.
News just in. England win World Cup. It's 1966.
Really?
I'm gonna whiz this. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do. Look at this. For Alviagra. This is Hold on, let's find a bit where you're making the homemade baked beans. This was by popular request, was it not? That we were bemoaning the fact that we couldn't get things like Marmite and baked beans. And you don't have not an easy. You make your own.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think that there was quite a few calls where people were asking about the baked beans, and also they were saying where could they buy them from, and I was saying why buy them when you can make your own.
Yeah, absolutely. And you shared with us a number of recipes: the fried chicken, the OFC, of course.
Oh yes,
that was one of yours as well. And this is live from the amazing Austin Brothers Al Viagra Studios as well. And massive thanks to Garbo and Terence and Linda, of course, obviously, for allowing me to use a kitchen while I was doing the filming, because these were great times, absolutely amazing times. You know, I would leave Garbo's house some mornings either feeling slightly tipsy because we would have a drink in the morning, or rather full. So amazing. It was great times. Amazing. And we got names like Eusebio, the Prof.
Wow.
Rebel Mama, Rafael de Furia. He pops in from time to time. William Ogilby. Rebel Mama, of course. Maxine. Names that I've forgotten about. It's nice to be reminded about looking at these old videos. Francis, Joao Ferreira, when he used to be with us on a more regular basis. First thing in the morning. Great stuff. So that was making baked beans. So are you going to do less cooking now and more film production? Is that the idea?
I'm hopefully wanting to combine them both, really, Carl, with the permission of whoever I'm doing a dinner party for or anything like that. I mean, I've just had the wonderful opportunity of catering for a birthday party in a couple of weeks, and also the very same person lives in a beautiful house that overlooks Ponte de Lima, has offered me his property to actually host dinner parties from there. So hopefully, if I can, I'll try and work it into that, is that I can actually film the whole process from me shopping to preparing to people eating and people's opinions. So it's making more content out of what I do.
Yeah, fantastic. Owen, the legend himself. And
2-minute taster.
Hold on a minute, I'm confused now because actually Louise, we're talking about Louise who used to watch, and now suddenly she's here as well.
Do you know, Carl, I was speaking to her just before we came on air. I'm actually going to teach her how to fly fish.
That's really?
Yes.
Wow. Have you got the book?
I spoke to JL Hartley, though.
I used to watch you guys in the man cave from the UK before I moved, and still talking to us despite watching the man cave. That's incredible.
That is.
Talking of good weather, 33 degrees today and 36 tomorrow for your birthday is the Fundal forecast there. We are going fishing. Isn't that wonderful? Hey, all you cycling voyeurs out there from Joao Ernesto, Tour de France is happening, and we have a changing of the guard this year. Go Tadej. Today, tomorrow, yesterday, let's all cheer for Tadej. Well, okay. I'm not sure what's happening there. The Tour de France is happening. So that means the Volta, the Portugal will also be happening. So you'll be able to see cyclists and those rippling calf muscles coming through a town near you. Do 2-minute tasters again, Owen. Hold on a minute, Dougie. That's you that does the 2-minute tasters.
2-minute tasters. Lovely.
2-minute tasters, lovely. We only met Owen through. Oh, okay. So there's more to come, I think, from Viv there as well. So let's have a look at another video. Now, this is you going to the Simois butchers in Sertar, right?
That's right, yeah, because the amazing quality of fresh meat there. And as I said, you know how I like, hand-reared animals that are cared for. And they have, in that particular shop there in Sertar, they have books of how the animals are treated and everything else. So for me, if you want in quality meats, find a butcher that is like that.
That's amazing.
That will help you.
Yeah, and this looks like proper telly, doesn't it? This let's go into the shop and have a look. You're going to run and turn into the shop. Here we go. There he is. Let's have a look inside. And this is the amazing Austin Brothers on location, presumably.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, it was during the time where we had to wear the face nappies, but never mind.
Yes. Oh my goodness. A fine shop.
An amazing store. And trophies. Half of them were for the local football team that are sponsored by the butchers, but the other half were certainly for competitions of the livestock as well.
It's incredible, isn't it? What a shop. Sertar, where is that? That's in central.
That's Portugal. In the centre of Sertar, central Portugal, in between Castelo Branco and Leiria, I'd say, in between.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. What were we cooking on this? Oh, what were you cooking? Was this when you're making?
It was the stuffed pork loin.
No way.
It was, because I bought them. You'll see him shortly. He takes out a big pork loin, which he passes to me.
Okay,
which is really good.
Pops out his pork loin. So, hello from Sydney, Nick Bradley, and that name I remember now as well. Victoria Benson, Ubi was watching. Michelle Layminer was watching in those days as well. And Andrew Gilchrist, who's that? Can't remember him.
That'll be Lord Gilchrist now, won't it?
It is Lord Gilchrist. That's why I didn't recognize him. Incredible. So any biodynamic dairies? Okay, yes, organic dairies as well. And look, Ben mixing something up in the man cave as well.
Great cocktail maker.
He was on last night. We did the Munson cocktail created by Johnny Cocktail on the Good Morning Club last night, and Ben mixed that up last night as well. So back to the kitchen, and I'm going to fast forward to the end. I think you're making the gravy there for the pork loin. Very nice indeed. Excellent stuff. What are you cooking a lot of at the moment? What's your favorite recipe right now? Quick taste.
Oh God, there's loads, Carl. I think the last thing I did, which was like that. The last thing I cooked was when I was in Lisbon, and I cooked it for a very, very dear friend, and it was duck breast. But I used the seasonal ingredients of cherries for the sauce, and actually used madroña for the sauce as well, because where I was staying, I couldn't actually find any herbs. But because of the herby taste and the kind of tonic taste to the madroña, I used that as my sauce base, and it was amazing.
Incredible. We can't condone this sort of behavior, Doug. I'm having our cat for tea, Owen. Pampered little bugger will taste divine. I guess that's just a Welsh thing, maybe. I don't know. One of the good things, says Katia, one of the good things about Portuguese butchers is when they call you Miss. Well, maybe not you. Yeah. Have you ever been called Miss in a Portuguese butcher's, Owen? I don't think
I may have done, but I've never heard it.
Yeah, and I remember the butcher that we had when we lived in Korea, Ernesto. He was amazing. He made no concessions whatsoever for my poor grasp of the language, and he would just blast me with Portuguese, and it was a real baptism of fire. But there is something really special. Obviously, if you're not a vegetarian or vegan, going into a Portuguese butcher is a great part of this culture, isn't it? And you can you can learn a lot about the culture by going in and buying meat at a butcher.
Absolutely. And I'm just gonna interject here, Carl, just for a quick second on a vegan fact that I'd like to put out there.
Please do.
Did you know that mushrooms have a DNA more closer to mammals than they do plants? So vegans, when you're eating mushrooms, be careful.
Oh, stop it. Okay.
It's a true fact. You can look it up. It's a fact.
Okay, so we are closely related to the fungi. That's
nice one. I like that.
That's reassuring to know as well. So there you go, the climax of the cooking there. But I think that's the main reason why Garvo used to get involved, so we could have that drink at the end, first thing in the morning. Pedro Gomes as well. Look at these. Sue's as well, who's over there in Canada at the moment. Do you have any roti recipes? My goodness, all these memories flooding back here. We've got one more as well. Tell us a bit more about the 900th birthday then. This is one of the oldest towns in Portugal that you come from, I think.
It is the oldest town in Portugal. Ponta de Lima is actually older than Italy itself.
What a brilliant claim.
It is. It's great, isn't it? When you can have a look at things like that. So I have a couple of friends here in Ponta de Lima, Vitor Costa, of course, and Oscar Oliveira that does a lot of tour guiding around here, a lot of the hill walking as well. And I also have Katia down in Lisbon that has a bit of knowledge of certainly of Portugal anyway, and historical this historical side of it, and also João de Norte is going to be featured in the videos as well. So what I want to try and do is explain a bit about the history of Ponta de Lima, where it sits within the country, and just literally about the people, the places, and the thing that's going on. And then the series will end on the March the 4th of next year when the celebrations are there big time. And I do know that not far from here, there's a firework factory that have been preparing for at least the last 3 months for next year's celebration. So I'm looking forward to that.
It sounds like a run up to a joke, that a firework factory, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, is it? There is actually a
firework. It was a blast.
Went out with a bang. So this is going to be a like a documentary you're making then about Pontiac.
Yeah.
It's going to be a full length deep dive sort of thing into the history and culture locally.
I've just seen another comment. Got
a bit of knowledge.
Sorry, not a bit of knowledge. She has a really good knowledge base.
Yeah. Well, if from the north of England, when you say somebody's got a bit of something, it means actually loads, doesn't it? It means you can't. You can't know any more than that. Yeah,
that's it.
I hope we've put that right now. I'm not sure. Just see. All right, so one more video then, one wafer thin video. Back in the kitchen again, and back to Al Viagra here. We did have a lot of fun doing these, didn't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what happens. Arrival. How's it going there, fellas? Good morning to you. Go.
Good morning. How are you?
Really well. You've got lead in your pencil by the look of things.
Well, you see, there's a good reason for that, and I'd like to thank your good lady Louisa and Rick this morning for their wonderful show. No, it was a very uplifting show. Sorry. Just start that again. Yeah, it was. I woke up really well this morning, Carl. Thank you very much. I had a really good start to the day. Sorry.
Okay, good. No, she's known for offering an uplift around the world on a Wednesday morning.
That didn't mean. Oh dear. There's going to be that kind of a morning.
Right. So what were you
you end up with the majority of it on your hands rather than in the flour itself.
Are those your patty stuffing, so to speak?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Oh, happy times, really good. And let's see who's in the chat here as well. Hank Stalika, remember him? He's in the chat there as well. Moaz, yes, Honk and Canny, Conk and Honey, Lisa M, Jean Guderian, who used to tune in as well. This is a proper good old trip down memory lane there. And you say you had a prof on the screen here again as well. And let's have a look at how these turned out. And we'll be talking to James soon from the Andsome Brewery. We've not talked at all about pairings just yet, but a glass of Guinness, right? A glass of stout with these patties.
Oh, yeah.
That would go well, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes.
So what's your favourite tipple at the moment? How's it going at the Letcher Brewery?
I'll be there this evening.
Right.
But at the moment, I tried it was a strawberry and mango sour.
No.
Which was really nice. I mean, for me, what I have found is that I've kind of fallen back into my UK mode, is that going in and having a strong beer from the get-go.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that anymore because it tends to play with my stomach. So normally in the summer, if I was in the UK, I'd be drinking cider, something a bit lighter. But I quite like the sour beers that they have there. So it'll definitely be the sour beers for me at the minute.
Right, which sounds again like it might play with your stomach. A sour beer. It sounds like there's something wrong with
it. It does, but I'm drinking a lot less as well, which is good.
Tell us more about that British culture thing. Going straight in for a strong one, like to get the
party. So it's the percentages of alcohol in the beers. Let's play a class one, maybe 3.4. I'm going in and drinking something that's 8, 9. 10%, which is really strong. And once you've had 3 pints of that, when you stand up, you know about it.
Yes.
So I've gone down to calming the quantity and the quality right down.
All right, brilliant. We'll talk to James some more about beer. It's Craft Beer Corner today. What was it last time when you were? Look at this. There's mention of your birthday there. You were born on July the 4th. Imagine if you were an American, all the fireworks would be a celebration for your birthday. They will be tomorrow. Yes. So yeah, we'll talk to James. We're going to play Branny's new single as well. So music to come as well this morning from Branny, who had to delay his single launch from last Friday, I think it was. And that's happening tonight. So we'll give you details of the Branny single launch. More music to come from Mackenzie and Gardner later on in the week as well. They've got a new single out too. I'm going to sort of fast forward to where we see the reveal, the big reveal here of the patties. Or have we already done this on? Oh, here they are. There's some beautiful pictures of your food here. There we go. Oh, no, that's someone else's food. What's going on here? Or is that one of your dressed crabs that you did?
No.
What is this? Does this ring
any
bells?
I don't know.
Look at this. I think I've got to whiz back for your patties here, I think. Somewhere in the mix here. Oh, here we go. Very nice indeed. Can you do you have a sort of taste memory as well? Can you taste these on your mind tongue now?
it's so strange, is that, Carl? Because I was talking about this the other day. I can be somewhere and have this food hit, the smell, which straight away conjures up memories of whether it be my mother cooking the food or something that I've ever cooked before. And it is so strange because I can be somewhere random and this food smell will just appear. And and it just evokes memories. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, the sense of smell and it is so, and taste, of course, are so important, aren't they? Drinking a glass of water there, pushing the boat out. Okay, let's give another.
Remember that one with the patty? You wasn't too pleased that I was pointing the patties towards the camera because you wanted them.
Every time, I never learned with this. Whenever there's food on the show, how it's great. A great idea going into it. It's going to be great sharing all this lovely food. Look, Garbo's enjoying himself again, and he's reaching for the beer as well, I suspect. Oh look,
in fact, I would say with that, Carl, I would love to do a one-off special where I come down and visit you and Louise and the family, and we do it there and then you can have it there and then.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, that's always the problem talking about food on the screen, is I end up terribly hungry by the end of the program, and I have to go and rush down the bakery and get something to eat. Let's get James joining in on the conversation. Nice big round of applause. And as I was about to say, power cut last time. Apologies to you both for that. A guy knocked on my door and said, we're going to have to turn the electricity off for about an hour. This was about a minute before showtime last time. So sorry we didn't see you, James. And how are you doing?
Very well, Carl. Very well. It feels early this morning here in the west. It feels very early. The cloud is still sort of overcast a little bit. It doesn't feel like a summer's day. How's the weather with you?
It's not yet. The sun hasn't burnt off the silver mist of the Silver Coast just yet, which I'm hoping it will do a little bit later on today. Owen's already ahead of us there in the north, and that sounded like such a grand statement. Here in the west, it sounded like a radio broadcast from the Second World War here in the Free West.
It does feel like that, Carl. It feels like that at the moment.
It does a bit, doesn't it? And there you are, of course, in Lourinhã, which I think that town is going from strength to strength. Do you get a sense of that? It seems to be more on more people's maps, as it were.
It is very strange because, 10 years ago, it was kind of like the Concelho that the world forgot. No one really knew that it existed. It felt like Jurassic Park in a way. And now we got dinosaurs. It does really feel like Jurassic Park. But yeah, it's definitely, there's so many new businesses popping up at the moment. There's lots and lots of new restaurants, lots and lots of new pastelerias. There's one just opened this morning, in fact. But all kind of like, one's French style. There's a new, near the sea in Alia Blanca, there's a new French style delicatessen just opened up. We're doing sandwiches, but not really sandwiches. They're more, they're expensive. They're sort of 11 or 12 euros, but they're amazing.
Sandwich?
I know, it's crazy, but the bread that's coming out is some guy, a French Portuguese guy who's brought the recipe for his bread from France and having it made locally, and the fillings are just out of this world. It's called Bun 6. I know it sounds expensive for a sandwich, 11 euros, but jeepers, they're really good.
It sounds like some strange perversion, bun sex or something like that, isn't it? But bun 6. Wow. Okay. So. Yeah. Right, that's very interesting. So from being the Concelho that time forgot to being a very sort of bohemian and Epicurean centre by the sound of it. Now, how does that happen? Is it those creative locals of Lourinhã?
I'm not sure. It seemed to happen straight after COVID hit. Right. People seem to. I don't know whether people wanted more space, or whether and here has an abundance of space and greenery. I really don't know. We're striking distance to Lisbon. I'm not sure what it is, but there's so many expats moving here at the moment, which, in a good way, because lots more businesses are sort of exploding out of nowhere.
Well, good for you. Glad to hear that. Just quick public service announcement for Louise here. Currently looking for a rental if you hear of anything. Hope all is well with you both. Louise, let us know what you're looking for, because it may well be they're just popping on and saying so. We'll get you somewhere to stay. Where do you want to be in Portugal, or are you quite open with your requirements? Did I hear right? Sounds like a variation to poo sticks. No, not bum sticks. Bun 6. What is it? You got the Specsavers there this morning.
You did.
Check with Vitor, and he'll get you sorted straight away. That's not for buns. That's for a rental. There, Louise, and it's like an autumn day. in the UK today. Well, you've had your summer. What are you complaining about, Squire? You had 3 days of sunshine last week. That's your lot, I think. Our turn now. Right, so what's going on with the beer, James?
We just got back from Provart from about 10 days ago. We got back from a big Provart beer event in September. It was really, really good. So we're just kind of trying to touch ground again, come back to reality, because it was such a good beer festival. Maybe the best beer festival I've ever been to, in fact.
Seriously, well, you'll have to tell us why. We've just visited Seta already this morning at the legendary Simoish butcher Talio over there. So quite the butcher shop. You're on the. I think the Provart Beer Festival is based on the river there, isn't it? Just near the bridge. Lovely location for that. Why was it so good?
I think it was just the amount of brewers they had there this year. They had 20 brewers, and each had about 8 beers. So we had around about 160 different beers to choose from.
What?
I know, it was really good, and the music was absolutely stunning. The weather was perfect; it wasn't too hot. It was everything, and of course Portugal played. I think it was their second game, and they put it on a big screen in the park, so everybody came.
Terrific!
Fantastic. We had jam sessions, music jam sessions, all the way till 4 o'clock in the morning, and so much beer tasting. It was unbelievable. It really, as a brewer, when you go to these things. So if you go to beer events and festivals, you get a chance to taste other people's beers, and it really gets your mind going as to what you could possibly do or what you could do differently. And of course, we all talk to each other a lot about how we make our different beers, and it really there's a lot of cross-pollination that goes on there, and an awful lot of tasting, Carl. An awful lot of tasting, which was hard work. Hard work. I'm not a massive drinker, as in, and it sounds weird, but I don't drink volumes much anymore, but gosh, that was a marathon. That was a marathon.
What stood out for you then in terms of coming across new influences and inspiration? What stays in your mind and on your mind's tongue, as it were?
I think for me it was more talking to the other brewers and talking about their experiences with making different sorts of beers. There were some really standout beers. One of which is a brewery called Açor, which is up near Coimbra.
Yes.
And they made a pumpkin beer, which is something I've always shied away from making, because Lourinhã produces a lot of bobbler, a lot of pumpkin. And they've always said to me, you should make one. I've never really been interested because I never really liked pumpkin beer, but they made this pumpkin beer that was fantastic. It was spiced with nutmeg, cumin, cinnamon, and it was just really sweet and quite strong, but absolutely balanced and fantastic. And so I'm starting to think maybe I'm going to make a pumpkin beer, but to be honest, the one I tasted was so good, I don't know if I can make one that good. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I guess that's a challenge, isn't it, or a problem necessarily? It's like, well, okay, let's leave it there because that guy's nailed it, and you have to have sort of quite a strong constitution to be quite brave, I think, to take on something like that. Any other inspiration or influence that you picked up while you were in Seta?
Yeah, there was beer-wise, there was the guy next to us in the store, which is Barona. They made a fantastic. It was a mango and passion fruit sour, but he'd done it slightly differently, so it was really thick and almost exactly like a smoothie. So we make a passion fruit sour, but it's totally different. Totally different. Ours is more kind of sour and juicy, whereas theirs was very much like a smoothie. The consistency was amazing. And the alcohol level was about 3.8%, so you could drink it all day long. It was really, really nice. And I was talking to him about how he made it, and he was, everyone's so open with these things, and I was like, wow, I want to try some of that. So I do have like a barrel of this red fruit sour that we made. That, well, I'm going to call it a red fruit sour, but it wasn't a red fruit sour. But I'm going to add these red fruits to it in the barrel afterwards, which is what he told me to do. And hopefully, so you get all the little bits in there as well. So it's almost like a smoothie, very thick, sour, but also balanced with the sweet and tartness of the red fruits, and with all the bits in like a smoothie.
That is going out on a craft beer limb, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's There's people that make more traditional stuff there, and there was people who really pushed the boat out and made lots of different things. There was I can't remember the angel. No, it was I'm trying to remember the fruit that he used, but he also used Himalayan salt and pepper as well in this goes.
No way!
Wow. Set it off. Yeah, there was some really interesting ideas, really interesting ideas in there.
Look, Nubinette's not impressed. I've refused to taste those smoothie beers. Yuck. Is that a thing then? Is that a trend, like thicker beers coming into the market?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this guy was the only one doing them, these particular ones. Normally the thicker ones are more like your imperial stouts, and your higher gravity ones normally come across with a bigger mouthfeel, so meaning that they feel thicker in your mouth and smoother.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I ever had a low alcohol fruity sour that actually had a lot of mouthfeel to it. It really worked so well. I wasn't sure I was drinking a beer, to be honest. It didn't taste of alcohol at all.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So in the States, apparently it's a thing. There's several. That's happening at the cutting edge of craft beer brewing, and you can taste that at James's Andsome Brewery and bar in Lourinhã soon, alongside his regular beers. Now, which of yours, James, made an impression in Sertão? Which were the most popular among your lineup?
I think our Irish Red was I believe that's the reason we got invited. Actually, was our Irish Red. It was because understanding now, we kind of went there and we were kind of surprised at the invite, because it's almost the craft beer festival that as a brewer you want to be invited to, because it's not so much about the monetary reward, but it's just about the meeting of everybody, the kind of and it's more of a craft beer festival for brewers, I would say. And so so that was, I was kind of like, there's lots of other craft beer festivals that you apply for and you don't necessarily get into, and this one is kind of one of the top ones. And it turns out that the organizer had a friend that lived in Lourinhã that had tasted our beers and bought some and sent it to him, and he really liked the Irish Red, and that's the reason we got invited.
What a beautiful thing. That's a real accolade, isn't it? So that's for you is a milestone along your brewing career here in Portugal then. Yeah,
I think it's just realizing, because I mean, as a brewer, you taste your beers all the time. You don't really, for me, that's just our normal Irish Red. So it's nice to know that other people like it, because you don't necessarily know. You can't. I mean, I could drink all our beers, but you don't realise how they rate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. And you have this kind of peer review going on, don't you, of your beers when you go to a well-loved and respected festival like the one in Sertão. So congratulations on that. That's lovely to hear.
No, it was super fun, Carl. I think even if we didn't get invited back next year, I would go as a normal customer. It was really good fun.
And did they have the yoga this year? Because I remember we accidentally ended up at that craft beer festival in Sertão, I think maybe 5 years ago, and there was a yoga session involving beer as well. Did that happen again this year?
No, there wasn't. There were the people that come every year. So there were the monks that were there this year.
Oh yes, Pete.
I believe they go there every year. Yeah, the monks.
Yeah. Pete and his pals, absolutely. And they'll be having their Castanheira de Pera festival soon as well.
I believe it was Pete's wife's 50th wedding, in fact.
How wonderful. Okay.
Sorry, 50th birthday. Sorry, so they have this extra thing going on. And all the ladies came as in lederhosen. So
the gentlemen were as monks and the ladies in lederhosen. Well, that's everybody making a mental note to put that down for next year as well. Fantastic. Or maybe they'll make an appearance at Castanheira de Pera this year. Okay, so we'll come back to you and find out more about this Lourinhã Beer Festival soon as well. I want to hear more about that. And Owen's going to close the show today with some words of inspiration as well, a bit of poetry, I hope. And we've got a video that sums up the beauty of life here in Portugal from you, with a bit of wood chopping, wood gathering and seasoning. So we'll have a look at that video from Owen as well. But before we go there, let's have a listen to this new single from Branny. Delayed departure of the single train that is Love Spell, which is now happening tonight, I believe, over near James and the Andsome Brewery. I think in Peniche. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to see if I can find out more details while the video is playing. This is the new single debuting, probably for the first time, in public, on the internet. So thank you, Branny, for letting us play your single. Here it is.
Told him let's ride, he was already there, and then he smiled at the sight of her hair. have you learned? When you jump from the edge, it's when things start to turn. I put a spell on you, my mind. Now go out and drive with a love spell for two. I wanna put a spell on you, my mind. A love spell just for two now. I wanna put a spell on you, my mind. Come on, girl, free me from my blues. I wanna put a spell on you, my mind. A love spell just for two now. I wanna put a spell on you, my mind. Come on, girl, free me from my blues.
Very, very good. What do you think of that, fellas?
I
What a
like it.
legend. What a legend.
What an incredible fella. He is all ours here in Portugal as well. He was on the equivalent of Pop Idol here, where he began. He decided to stay after quite a transient life around the world, because I wrote about him in the Portugal Resident, found out a bit more about his life. Came to Portugal, fell in love, staying here, and he's making his pop career here, or his music career. No, Jackie, you are watching the Good Morning Portugal show. You haven't tuned into Top of the Pops by Top of the Pops? What's that? Hasn't been on telly for about
Top
50
of the
years.
Pops. Wow.
Yeah.
Good job. It wasn't the old great whistle test.
That's,
Yeah.
that's Branny. That's Branny there with his new single, Love Spell. We played tunes from his EP last year, and that's his brand new single, which is going to be, I think that's launching tonight. Let me have a closer look at this. Yes, Quarta-feira, that's today, 3rd of July in Farel. Branny continues to live the dream, driving through life, doing what he loves. His next stop is an important milestone in his endless road trip. Thank you for joining him on this journey. Love Spell, new single is waiting for you, and that's from 6:30 tonight. Farel, that's not far from you, is it, James? Farel?
Oh, that's about 20 minutes ago. I know the spot very well. It's a really nice spot. Lovely outdoor area, barbecues and stuff, and it's really nice. The spot where he's having it. In fact, it was a shame it got cancelled for this weekend. But I'm happy. I think the weather was so bad on this weekend that they all sort of came to the bar afterwards. So I got to see them all a bit sad and stuff. But
okay. I bet you.
Yeah. And Branny's such a lovely guy, and he's really, really talented and lovely guy. But he's and it also helps. He's about 18 foot tall as well. I've never seen anything.
Yeah, when he came in to the bar, was it like having Hagrid step in on a scene from Harry Potter?
I don't think. Thank you for that one, but yes, he's huge. He's the only one. He's the only person that can eat. We do in the tap room. We do these big portions of nachos, with sort of layered different things, and it's quite a lot of them. I mean, it's a big meal for one person. You struggle to eat it. Brandy's the only person we've ever had who's had two of them, two, and he's still, he said, "Tell your wife she's satisfied me." I was like,
that warrants a photo, doesn't it? Like in a bar you might see in America, the time Branny ate 2 lots of nachos right here in this bar. It is an advert. He is a walking advert for vitality and health and love of life. He's amazing. That obviously shot here in Portugal. That video, great video. He makes fantastic videos. A lot of effort goes into the production there, and written, inspired by Portugal. It's a Portuguese product from one of our top. He's in the Expat Hall of Fame, that's for sure. Branny, good luck with that. Congratulations on that new single, and all the best with it. And I meant that in the nicest possible way. You are a musical man mountain, absolutely. Good to see you here, Michael, and Jackie, who's joined us, of course. Good morning, Jackie. Last 10 minutes of the show this morning then, and yes, well spotted, Squire. I was wondered if it was an Escort. A Mark 5 Escort Cabriolet, bit of a collector's item there. Very nice to see that. And that, we're waking Nubian up, so we need to keep the noise down. In fact, we are going to get a little bit more reflective and spiritual now. Party people woke me up. Sorry about that, Nubian. You can drift away again to the lovely sound of Owen sharing some of his wonderful inspirational poetry and thoughts. And we'll start that with a video that you made, I think, that sets the scene very nicely, Owen. This is you're out having a little bit of a ramble in the north of Portugal recently.
So, I don't know if the vocals, if I'm going to be heard on this, but this is what I call proper cooperation. So the last few days, local farmers have been gathering the wood that they've cut down, and they've actually stood here and chopped all the wood up and each individual farmer has placed the wood in their truck, ready for the winter season. So this is the time, people, in Portugal, to gather your firewood now for the winter. But isn't that great? Isn't it great how communities work together? That's why I love Portugal. And I'm off to dance with the ranchos. Cheerio.
You're off to do what? Dance with the ranchos?
Dance with the ranchos. Last Friday evening, John, myself and Pam and a few other expats joined the local folklore group, doing the dancing. And I was on my way actually to meet John and Pam up there. I'm sure John had some videos of it.
Yes,
that he showed
we played them on Monday. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Was it
good?
It was
a great evening. Great evening. I mean, and I think that's, once again, even following on from the video I did there, is that literally being welcomed by the community as well, and joining in the community event with this local association. It's just so heartwarming. When you come to a different country, you're a bit tense whether you're going to fit in or not. But when you have people, when you have neighbours like that, it just makes the transition so much easier.
Beautiful. And you were welcomed in with open arms, and you did some dancing with the ranchos, which is the name.
I got up for one dance. I was there mainly to take photographs of everybody else.
Yeah, fantastic. But that you can get involved. And rancho is the genres. It's a style of local folklore dancing, isn't it?
That's. I mean, it's not just associated with Ponta de Lima. It's the whole of Portugal. But it's like anything. It's like the food. There's all regional variations.
Okay, a rancho is the thing to look out for. Join your local rancho dance troupe. Okay, so let's get into some mindfulness and some nice peaceful vibes as we say thanks to Owen for this current stint, series 3, I would call it, episode 8. Train your mind, says James, by way of a bit of mindful foreplay here. Train your mind to see the good in everything. Positivity is a choice. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. That's a really good primer, I think, for what Owen's going to be sharing with us this morning. When you clean out a vacuum cleaner, here's your mindful dad joke today. When you clean out a vacuum cleaner, you become a vacuum cleaner. Very good there. I would go into my Buddhist vacuuming jokes, but not again. We forgot about the God's God tip of the day, so let's do this quickly as well. Bom dia, gambas e feliz carta. A quiet day today, letting my legs recover from a hard training session yesterday. It's always a bit mad when this old idiot is running next to a 2-time Olympian. Yes, that's right. It's like cheering up an old dog with a young puppy. And again, I mean that in a good way. To progress from squats, standard, and sumo, we can start doing lunges. You should warn the people around you before you do that. I think basically they're a long step forward, and then allow your hips to lower until your rear knee touches the ground. Which just sounds like being one of the 3 Musketeers, doesn't it? You want to put on a French accent and say, "Take that, you rascal!" Then slowly rise up, swap legs, and repeat. Top tip: keep some width between your feet to help balance. Good life advice there. Take 10 steps forward, then rest for a minute before repeating. And please try that in your local supermarket and send video. Winsurance Milen is also here with a mindful thought this morning. The morning thought: happiness is not a station you arrive at, but a manner of traveling. Again, echoes, I think, of what you're going to share with us this morning, Owen. Oh, and a quick advert for Louise's rental requirements. Anywhere, central or north, need a garden for my land and my dogs. The more isolated, the better there. So if you've got something that might fit the bill for Louise, let us know. You can drop me a line. I'll pass that on to Louise. So Owen, thanks so much, mate. It's been great working with you. Obviously, I think you'll be popping back onto the screen from occasionally, less frequently than you have been here in this Food Alchemist slot. But thank you so much for all that you've given in that particular capacity, and all the best to you for the future. What have you got to share with us by way of a conclusion to this particular part of our journey together?
Well, it's just that a little ditty. I'm also in a couple of weeks having 25 copies of my book being sold at a book fair up here in Ponta de Lima, and also a local store has asked if I can provide them with some books to sell from there. So the poem I'm going to read to you that I wrote, well, it's been on my mind for a while, but it's just come to fruition over the last week or so, and it's the one I sent you last night, Carl, if you don't mind, because this one seems to resonate a bit more with me again. And this is called In Nature's Realm.
I'm going to give you a full screen for this.
Thank you. In nature's realm, I find my peace. A world away, my soul release. I shed my shoes, my feet now free to dance with earth, wild and carefree. I seek a tree, a giant old, with branches wide, stories untold. I ask its bark with curious eyes to share its secrets and its sighs. It whispers tales of seasons past, of storms and sunshine that have last. It speaks of roots that run deep down and of wisdom that it has found. I listen close with a heart aflame as the tree shares its ancient name. And though I'm small, I feel its might as we connect in the warmth of the sunlight. Thank you, Carl.
So I just thank you, mate. I just drifted away there, and I'm feeling airy man in my heart chakra, I would say. So thank you so much. Wonderful. Thanks for all your poetry. And if people want to meet you, come and chat with you about poetry, buy your book, they can do that when?
You know, the date, I have not had the confirmation of the full date, but I'll certainly put it on give you a mention of that, Carl, when it happens.
Okay, in your poetry book, the link to that in Amazon is in the sleeve notes for the show here. So cheers, Owen. Have a great day.
Thank you, Carl.
Everybody. James, before you go,
cheers, James.
The Lourinhã Beer Festival, that's still to come?
No, that's gone already, Carl. Already gone. It was a bit of a washout.
Owen and I were supposed to be there. How was it?
It was a washout. The weather was terrible, so it was outside. The space was lovely, but it was just terrible weather for it. Raining and very good.
Okay, so next year we'll see you next year for that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. This summer is just really, really weird, isn't it? So hopefully better. So you will do it again next year, despite that.
I think it's definitely going to happen again. Yeah, and the Cowdash one. I have got another bit of news for you if you've got time.
Yeah, go on.
I've learned yesterday that there's going to be another brewery opening in Farrell, near to Peniche.
Yes, right.
A guy, his English chap that came in, really, really super nice guy, and we were just chatting about he just wasn't sure how to set up and stuff, so we were sort of helping him with different contacts and stuff. But super nice guy. He really, really likes making English bitters and stuff as well. So he might even be making you know, with the old school gravity pump and stuff. He's looking into all that stuff, but that'll be in the sense. I don't know the name of the brewery or anything like that yet, but they're just going through the legalities of it. But it looks hopeful. So hopefully, here's to that, some more good craft beer in the West, Carl.
Absolutely. I got my old craft beer mug from Korea here. This is a battle weary craft beer mug from, I don't know, about 5 years ago. Here's to that, and bring him along for sure. If he wants to join us on the show to talk about the brewery, see you next time with him. We won't see you, Owen, next time, but we'll see you, I hope, in a different capacity and in real life somewhere soon. Beautiful, Owen. Some words about your poetry here. Beautiful, Owen. And stunning poetry, says Jackie. Thank you so much. That was lovely, Owen. As well, says Squire of the Shires. Good morning to you, Squire. I finally feel I'm on a path to progress once everything is in the truck, and I know my route to Portugal, whilst I'm laying on a Coimbra beach, sipping tea and munching Portuguese pastries. That's such a beautiful image to end with the sounds of Owen's poetry in your ears as well, with the leaves of that tree sort of gently whispering to you as well. All available here in Portugal. Keep focused on that goal. Yes, anyone who's traveling to Portugal and with a Portuguese dream in mind, keep on keeping on, and we'll see you here soon. And happy birthday tomorrow, Owen. Take care, everybody. Bye for now, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. All the best. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bom dia, Portugal! In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, you gumpers.